So this is day 3 of our Viking Portugal River of Gold trip, and today we checked out of our hotel, the Corinthia in Lisbon. We loaded the bus and we're on our way to Porto, but we're first stopping in Coimbra to check out that city as well as tour the university there. We just got off the bus in Coimbra and we're going to walk over to the pedestrian street. So here we go, off to the walking street. We're on the walking street and here's a beautiful mural here. So this mural represents the Coimbra University students in their cloaks and fado players and singers. The students of Coimbra University created their own form of fado music, so they're the originators, and that's why you see them in their dark cloaks wandering the streets and singing and looking for some money, I guess some extra cash to help with their studies or maybe the fun times after their studies. So our Viking tour guide stayed with us for about half an hour, 40 minutes, describing the city and pointing out some of the historic landmarks, and then gave us about 45 minutes on our own to tour this particular area. And in this particular area, what was nice about it, in addition to the landmarks, is that all the great shopping you could do, as well as places to sit down at cafes or restaurants, have a drink. And what I liked about it was all this live music as well. Serenaded by some accordion music. Got about 50 minutes of free time walking the city streets here. The shopping malls, and one of the big things that they sell here to the tourists are these court products, in this case, court purses, with these beautiful patterns on them.
The other one, oh yeah, look at that thing.
That looks like a university student right there in the case. So we're at another square with another mural and more music. But here you go. Here's got a statue dedicated to fado music, it looks like.
Yes. You gonna be with us?
I'm just trying to catch my goose.
So fado music is extremely popular with the university students, and you can see in this monument here, it's 3 young men, 3 university students, and the reason it's 3 university students is back in, I believe, the 1800s when fado music was first started here. Only men attended university, so that was the tradition, and they still keep that tradition. The other thing I'll say about university students here, it's I believe in the first year they just wear t-shirts, but once you get into your second year, they present you with a cape, and the university students often wear those when they're parading around the town, and that's how you can easily identify them. Looks like an old gate. But look at all the buildings here. They got all these angles and so forth. So there's lots of beautiful buildings here, and one of the first that we noticed was this old church here. We didn't get a chance to go inside it, and even though it was our personal time, we wanted to go to one on the very end of this street because I had read a lot about it. But what I liked about this one is that it had the sign of the Portuguese cross on it, which is associated with the Knights Templar. The other piece of the architecture I like here are all these angled buildings, like the little narrow one here, sort of running along this little side street. But all the architectural details in all these buildings are not very tall, generally no more than about 5 floors high. Anyways, it looks like a great town to just saunter and tour around. It's unfortunate we only had 50 minutes to do that on our own, but we'll get a real sense of it. So anyways, we're heading off to the next square, and that is the location of the church I wanted to do it. Look at this mosaic up here, Nicole. Beautiful.
Take a few pictures.
So there's not a lot of people on that patios here because it's only around 10 o'clock, 10:30. But I would imagine this street is going to get quite busy fairly soon. With all the music, it feels like there's a lot of energy on this block. Beautiful architecture. I love the colors, different pastels. And you can see that the road or the pedestrian walkway here is your typical white and black limestone tiles. We've seen that all through Lisbon and now Coimbra, and I suspect we're going to see it in Porto as well. And this just seems to be emblematic of the country itself, and something I'd actually really enjoy. I do find them a little bit slippery, though, if you're walking. So you want to have some shoes here with some decent traction, especially if you're going up and down hills like we did in Lisbon, and I suspect we're going to see the same thing in Porto as well. One of the interesting things, at least on this particular street, is that there's very few buildings with these azulejo tiles on them. Unlike Lisbon, it seemed like almost every building had those, but not at least on this particular street. At the end of the street is a beautiful pastry shop and a beautiful church. And part of the church, or probably former church, is a cafe restaurant now. What a beautiful setting. Now we'll see if we can take a look at this particular church. So in the square here, you can see a nice fountain or pool of water, and all the pigeons are enjoying that. But this is incredible. All the figures here. This is the monastery of Santa Cruz, and it was built in 1131, and then it went under restoration in the 1600s under the king's orders, and they made it in more of a Manueline style, but it's Gothic style as well, but it has some Manueline features to it, but beautiful entranceway. I'll have a quick look. So, monastery de Santa Cruz. Oh wow. The azulejos tiles in here are just incredible. On both sides of the church walls. And then you've got this tremendous organ here. I'd like to hear that play.
parte como que así.
Some beautiful chapels in here as well.
Bon dia. It's 4 euros per person. This is the monastery.
We don't have time to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the monastery of Santa Cruz. 4 euros to enter, but unfortunately, we do not have time for that. Another beautiful church in Portugal. The Church of Santa Cruz, and on one side is the monastery of Santa Cruz. Have a quick look just to see what's on the street up here. Just a little corner with a nice little sculpture. It looks like they commemorate fado again because they've got the Portuguese guitar. Very nice. Another walled area. Very nice. Every corner, this looks like a town that we need to explore if we had more time. So here we are, continuing on the street, heading back to our bus. What a beautiful area. So I understand that this is the main walking street and probably the tourist district. Lots of shopping and restaurants, of course. And the architecture is wonderful here. But what I find surprising is there's very few homes with the tiles, the Portuguese tiles, the azulejos. There's one right here, but very few here. So next thing on our agenda was a short drive over to the University of Coimbra. We wanted to check it out, the Royal Palace, the square there, but more importantly, the library and chapel. So once we pass through this particular gate, we're going to enter the grounds of the former Royal Palace, which is on the site of the University of Coimbra. And in these grounds, there is the Royal Palace itself. It'll be on the right-hand side, and that is still used to teach some classes. I was told it's mainly for teaching law. But also on the grounds here, you'll find a small church as well as the library. And that's one of the most famous things in Coimbra, the library, and that's what we're here to see. So our guide to explain to us that Coimbra University is one of the oldest established universities in the world, possibly the second oldest. And I believe it may have started in Coimbra, but then was moved to Lisbon, but then eventually it was moved back to Coimbra in 1537, and it's been here ever since. Of course, other cities such as Lisbon also have universities now. So my understanding is when the library was first moved back here, there was a city library, and that would have been in 1537. But this particular library that we're looking at, the front entrance here, was built in 1705. And that is now officially the university library. So this is actually the front entrance to the library, but they don't allow you to go through that entrance. We actually have a side entrance we'll need to start at, and then we'll exit through this particular spot. We're about to enter the library, and we can't film or take pictures there. So what I'm going to do is just pull a few pictures off the internet so you get a sense for what the library looks like. So today the library hosts about 56,000 different volumes on its shelves, and some of these are quite historically significant and only can be handled by some of the scholars at the university itself. By wearing this type of university, these cloaks or capes, it signifies that they're studying in the university. So now we're going into the Capella de Miguel, or in English, the Chapel of St. Michael.
So we are in the Royal Chapel.
So this is the Royal Chapel.
We still use nowadays to attend Mass for a wedding or for a concert, because we have a fantastic organ that it was built in the same period of the library. It's a Baroque organ, so 1790 installation with our John. And we still use the Royal Chapel, and we call everybody the Royal Chapel, but without the royal family, without the royals, because the library was used by the royal family till 1910. So since 1910 that we don't have any more the royal family. And it was considered for the royal family, as you can see, because
So St. Miguel, or St. Michael's Chapel, was built originally on the site of a 12th century chapel, but this particular building was constructed in the 16th century. The architecture is built in the Manueline style, which is associated with the maritime, and King Manuel, who was one of the leaders or in charge during the age of discoveries, when Portugal was a maritime superpower and established trade routes around the world. The architecture here, you see these almost like steps up to the altar. They think that maybe when you're trying to reach God, you basically had to climb steps or elevate yourself. But it also shows some elements of the Orient. And during the Age of Discoveries, China was visited, Macau in particular, Japan, so maybe there's some influences there. The tiles in the wall are, these ones particular here are Portuguese tiles versus the other tiles on the wall are more Spanish tiles. It wasn't until I believe the 17th century that Portugal, or 18th century, that Portugal actually started to produce their own tiles. So prior to that, they used to import them from Spain, and that's what you're seeing here. So here's the Royal Palace in Coimbra, and now partially used for the law school or law faculty. Made by John III.
semana passada a doente.
So after touring the university, we headed back and loaded onto our bus, and we headed off for lunch. And during lunch, we were entertained by some fado musicians, and these fado musicians were former University of Coimbra students. Going to dinner or lunch at the República da Ciudad. Looks like we got an inside room. Starting off with a little wine, red and white, for our lunch. Gotta like it. So after being serenaded with fado music while we were served our lunch, we then loaded our bus and we headed back towards Porto, where we would catch our boat, or ship I should say, the Viking Hemming, which is actually located across from Porto on the Vila Nova de Gaia side of the river. So this is the Viking Hemming, and we're boarding. Hello, Viking Hemming. Up the red carpet?
Yeah, always. Good afternoon.
Good.
Welcome aboard.
All good, thank you. 100. Ooh, we got a pool. Nice sitting area out here. And we're heading off to our room. We got a nice welcoming committee. And the people that'll take you right to your room and bring your luggage there. Thank you for the towel.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes. YouTube, there you go.
So, I would like to put this reception behind Mr.
So this is the front desk and the lounge, and there's an elevator here that'll take you to any floors on the ship, but we'd elected to take the stairs down to our stateroom. And we're in what we call the swan rooms, which are below the water level or partially below the water level, and we'll show you those in a minute.
Let me again explain something. This is our restaurant where we serve the lunch, breakfast and dinner.
Lunch, breakfast, and dinner.
Here you can see our menu always.
Oh, the menu is perfect.
That's the coffee station. You can always have something over there like the cookies for 24/7 available, okay?
Okay, coffees,
That's
yep.
good tips to have some small bites.
Oh, yeah. We have some cupcakes tonight.
Yes, perfect.
Oh, yes. Perfect. We can use elevators as well. That's the dining room.
In Portugal, I'm already like 36 months, almost 3 years. But with the Vikings, I recently
And here we go, right by the door.
Please. So let me
Right in the middle of the ship.
post the pen. Alright.
Excellent. Room 100. Use the key to turn on the lights. Excellent.
Perfect.
And I think the suitcase slide on here.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah, we got a nice shower.
And this is your. And I will actually.
Provide all the toiletries.
That's the. We have one restaurant below, on the second floor, and upside is the bar. It's a
Oh, you
lounge.
don't have an aquavit like in the. You can
It's
eat.
a lounge, yes. There is also you can have. So first, let me introduce myself. So my name is Pradeep. Okay. So I'm a waiter. I'm working in a restaurant. So I have. You can find me in the lunch, dinner, and the breakfast everywhere. I'm even there. So my name is Pradeep. Okay. So
Nice
let
to
me
meet
explain-
you.
Nice to meet you, sir. So let me explain a few of the things. So this is your first time with the Vikings.
Second time.
So second time. So might know you already know some of the things about it, but let me repeat again one more time. So this is a Viking daily that you're going to receive to the housekeeping team every morning. So here you will find whatever is written, like you have plans to do, like if you are having a 2 excursion on the time and everything, like breakfast, lunch and dinner. So this is important. Everything you're going to receive every day through the housekeeping team. Okay?
Perfect.
And one more thing, this is Quiet Foxes. Don't forget to take that one with you when you are on a tour. That will help you to listen to the tour guide when you are so far away.
Quiet boxes, and that's the charger
Quiet
right there. So
Foxes, yes.
in every night to charge up.
Yes. And one more important thing. So today at 6:15 there is going to be a safety drill behind the reception on the lounge by a captain.
A reception at 6:15.
6:15. So be there at that time. Until that time, just be freshen up and you can look around and and your luggage will be delivered to your room like within 5 to 10 minutes. Okay? We will knock the door.
Perfect. Is the pool on deck? Is it heated?
It's like yes, it's not like so much, but it's kind of like a medium. But they can change, and sometimes you can guide with the housekeeping team will guide you.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll see you. Bye now.
Thank you.
So here we go. We got basically almost a king size bed. It's definitely a queen, and we're in what they call a swan room. So we're right next to another boat, but we're partially below the water. And the reason they call it a swan room is that the ducks and the swans could swim right up to our window. So this is actually a great place to store some gear as well. And we got some storage. You got a bench here. You got an ice bucket, the all-important ice bucket. They give you some water. You got a TV. You got your quiet boxes. They're charging. And they got some earplugs. You need to take those on all your excursions. This is the bathroom. So a sink, towels, a big shower. And what I like is they provide all the shampoos and toiletries that you could ever need. And there's lots of storage underneath for all your gear. And the most important thing is for your big luggage underneath the bed. There's tons of storage for at least 2 to 4 big pieces of luggage. So you don't have them hanging around. Then on the benches, you got lots of spots to store stuff as well. So it's just perfect. And closet space, they got drawers, you can pull things out and store them there. And they've got these closets right here for hanging. You got life jackets, throw your shoes down there. And there should be a safe on this side, and there it is. Safe and a hair dryer, so you don't need to bring your hair dryers with you. They supply those, and a laundry
Yes,
bag.
but some hotels don't have it.
So perfect, and that's your cabin. So this boat's a little bit different than what you see on the Rhine and Danube rivers. Those boats are a little bigger. I think they can take a capacity of about 190 people, whereas this boat, I heard the capacity is 106 people. And on our cruise for the Portugal Rivers of Gold, we are looking at 103 people, so we're almost full here. And we'll take a tour of the ship a little later. So this is the top of the deck of the Hemming. It's got a swimming pool, and that's something you don't find on any of the ships on the Rhine or the Danube. It's unusual. So this ship is a little bit smaller than those that you find on those rivers. Those are like have I think a maximum capacity of something like 180 or 92. And this one here, I believe, is a maximum capacity of 106. So I'm just going to walk you around the deck here. So this is the front of the boat. There's the pulpit that the captain drives, and I believe that will actually sink down a little bit lower so they can go under bridges. Obviously, they've got some other boats in here. I think this is another Viking ship right beside us because it's exactly the same design. They have a lounge in the front of the boat just outside the dining quarters, and I believe this is called the Aquavit Terrace. At least on the Rhine boats, that's what it is, and it looks like to be the same sort of setup. So they have lounge chairs with towels here. Pool again has a max depth of 2.3 feet, so not very deep at all. Lots of tables and chairs. Going into the sun here, might make it a little bit hard to see. That's a nice little spot. Some more deck chairs. Here's your used towels or waste and towels you can just grab, which is great. We don't need to bring a towel from our stateroom up. And I really like this. This is a covered area, so you can get out of the sun. Some plants. Looks like a really relaxing spot. We'll go check out the back of the boat here and see what's there. I believe that area is for the crew, though. That's the crew area, and that's their access to it there. So that's the top floor of the Viking Hemming. A lot of the long ships, you have the opportunity, they have a walking track on top of the boat, but I think you can use this as a walking track. More sailing and get your steps in if you're looking for a little bit of exercise. But this looks like a very nice spot. And when we're sailing the Douro Valley and looking at all the wineries on either side of the banks, I think I'm going to be up here quite a bit. Check out this second floor of the Viking Hemming. Here's the front desk. Got some candies over there. And they've also got umbrellas, so when you're going out, hand sanitizer. A gift shop, mostly Viking paraphernalia, but this one has some jewelry. But jackets and coats and hats, all with the Viking symbols, which is interesting if you're looking for something to remember your Viking trip was. But this is the main lounge. Hello, everyone. Little business section if you want to get on a computer. We got some, what is it, water with some lemon?
Bottle drink, that's for you, sir.
I'll be getting that in a minute. I'm just going to get my wife. I'm waiting for her to show up. Do you call the front the Aquavit Terrace?
The Aquavit Terrace.
Yes. And you serve food there as well, right?
No.
No, so only drinks. Okay. I know on the Danube boats it has food on there.
Yes, they have a little extra restaurant at the top.
On the top?
Yeah, because we're the baby ship, we only do the
Yeah, so only one restaurant in this ship. This is what we want to drink by the end of the trip. That has to be finished, I understand. Well, there you go. So a nice bar, a great lounge for everybody. And this is where your port talks will be. Hello. So a very nice spot. And then the Aquavit Terrace. And unlike most of the places, or most boats on the Rhine and Danube, you cannot eat out here. This is a lounge for drinks. Well, check it out. And there you go. Perfect.
Very good evening, everyone. Once again, be very welcome to the Viking Hemming. My name is Tiago Marques, born and raised here in Portugal. So let's do the toast. Do you know how we toast in Portuguese? We say "a saúde," to the good health. A saúde.
There we go. It'll be a good trip. So immediately following our port talk, we headed down one floor into dinner. So this is Catapalana. This is our first meal on the Viking Hemming, and look at the size of that shrimp. Traditional Portuguese meal here. Clams, fish, and shrimp.
And they tested the mice, and
So here I am on the Aquavit Terrace. We just had our dinner, had a little bit of a talk lecture on the state of Portugal today, and the lights are out in the city of Porto. And I'm just taking a look at that before heading to bed. So I don't know what these buildings are because I'm new to Porto, but I'm sure we'll be finding out in the days ahead. Or when we're actually sailing tomorrow down the Douro Valley, but we'll come back to Porto in a couple of days. Well, at the end of the week, 7 days, and we'll spend a couple of days here learning about this city. But I believe this is the Lewis Bridge. It's a beautiful bridge. It's both pedestrian cars, and that's what we'll be going over later on. So we're on the Gaia side of the river, and the other side is Porto itself. And we'll be checking that out later on this trip. But the city lights from this side of the river are absolutely beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll be showing day by day everything that we did on this particular trip.